Sistah Girls, it's me, 𝘾𝙖𝙢𝙥𝙛𝙞𝙧𝙚, also known as the Sister Girl Next Door. I'm back with another podcast episode. This episode is special because it's the start of our limited summer audio series, 𝘾𝙖𝙢𝙢𝙥𝙛𝙞𝙧𝙚. I've rounded up some of the dopest Black authors and writers who will be dropping a tale, a short story, or sharing a snippet from their published work. Now, I don't know where you're at, but grab a cool drink and enjoy. The fourth and final tale is Husband for Sale by B.M. Hardin.
Don't get me wrong, sex with Al is good. Over the years, he's moved from third to second place on my list of best sex I've ever had. Unfortunately, my husband will never be number one. No one, and I do mean no one, could ever take the place of the one and the only Draco St. Peterson. Draco was my first live-in long-term relationship and a demon with a good dick. That man was everything your mama warned you about. Plus, his dick was made of gold with a little bit of crack cocaine inside of it. Draco's devil dick is the only addiction I've ever had to face and overcome. And I'll be the first to admit that it wasn't easy. His dick wasn't too big, and it surely wasn't small, but I'm willing to bet any amount of money that he has one of the best dicks on God's green earth. Draco had what the old folks call dick of amnesia. He could lie, cheat, raise hell all day, bring my car back on E, spend all my money, but when the lights were off and the pennies came sliding down, I got amnesia. Everything, anything he'd done prior to putting that thing inside of me was simply forgiven and with each stroke, quickly forgotten. And as expected, really good dick comes with drama, and it's almost always attached to a man who isn't worth a damn. After Draco cheated on me for what had to be the 20th time, and after a crazy lady showed up at my house trying to get her next fix from him, I realized that I had to let him go. I shivered at the thought of how Draco used to make me feel. Sex with him was a high that I've never quite experienced again, and I don't think I would want to. I can't afford to be another man's fool. Shaking away my thoughts, I managed to focus on the matter at hand. Sex with my darling husband, Al. It doesn't take much to get Al going. The more I participate, the faster he'll come. So I gave Al the best 10 minutes of his life, leaving him on the couch satisfied and pretending to smoke a cigarette. "Thank you, baby," Al said as I reached him a plate of food and a cold glass of sweet tea. "You're welcome." I took a seat at the end of the couch. Now, I have all of 20 minutes to finish this product description before I have to publish it on the company's website. I'm an artist, but currently I work for the largest auction house on the East Coast just to pay the bills. Well, not really. Al pays all the bills, and I do mean all of them. All I do is buy groceries and toilet paper. And my husband barely wants me to do that. Al is old school. He's definitely the type of man who provides and protects. He's so manly, and he tries to fix any and everything just to show me how strong and useful he is. Al is also what most people might call a geek, but boy does he make geek look good. My husband has the smoothest almond-colored skin I've ever seen, big lips, dark eyes, and a full scruffy beard. Al is muscular in all the right places, and he has a crooked yet sort of mesmerizing smile. And he's one of the smartest people that I know. He works for a fairly well-known tech company in downtown Savannah. And most of the time, I have no idea what he's talking about, but I smile and pretend to listen. "Okay, baby, do your thing. I'm going to eat and finish up a few things myself." Al smacked his lips. Ugh, I hate the way he chews. Al's chomping irritated the hell out of me, making it hard for me to focus, but somehow I was able to finish the product description and press publish just 2 minutes before the deadline. Finish. Al didn't respond. He now has his laptop in his hands, and I know that I would be completely invisible to him for the next hour or so. Good. Let me tell you something. Marriage is hard. Even when you have an amazing husband like Al. Al does everything right. I couldn't have prayed for a better husband. Seriously, he really is a great guy. It's just sometimes, some days, I wish I was free. Alfonso and I met years ago at a karaoke bar across the street from my old job. My sister Sophie and I were singing Mustang Sally on stage, and I spotted Al in the front row. He was laughing. He noticed me looking at him, and after smirking at me, he took a sip of his drink and winked. Once I was off stage, Al didn't hesitate to follow me to the bar. Honestly, I was surprised he even noticed me because I was standing next to Sophie, the bombshell. I've always been the brains, and Sophie has always been and still is the beauty. I guess if you go by society's standards, my sister Sophie is one of the prettiest women I have ever seen. She has the height and face of a runway model and the body of a perfect statue on display at the museum. She's about 5'10" with flawless honey brown skin. She has a body full of perfect curves and a flat stomach. Sophie's cheekbones are so bold and precise, as though they were drawn just to pull the attention towards her perfect nose. She has some of the cutest dimples and an amazing smile that lights up the darkest of rooms. And Sophie has big, brown, beautiful hazel eyes, surrounded by long, thick, natural eyelashes and a head full of natural ebony curls. And even with all that said, she's probably about 10 times more gorgeous than I could ever describe. I'm a little more, let's just say basic. Sophia and I have the same beautiful curls, but other than that, I'm just an average light brown skinned girl. I have wide hips and juicy thighs that clap when I walk. My eyes are just brown, and my nose is slightly too big for my face. My stomach only appears to be fat when I'm wearing my girdle. And though I do have a nice set of boobs and a big round ass, for the most part, just like I said, I'm just normal looking. Nothing too special about me. I look like our dad, and Sophie got the beautiful genes of our mother and grandmother. But Al noticed me. That night, Sophie thought Al was approaching the bar to talk to her, but he looked directly at me and asked to buy me a drink. The rest is pretty much history. Al gave life a whole new meaning. Al made life fun and easy. He was sweet, he was kind, and he was gentle to me. And he took me on some of the most memorable dates of my life. Al took me skiing and skydiving, which were both on my bucket list, and he always encouraged me to try new things. On our 2nd year anniversary of dating, Al flew me to Paris, and he proposed to me in front of our family and friends. We married a year later, and our 2nd year wedding anniversary is only 2 months away. I love Al, I really do. But like I said, marriage is hard. My husband is so good to me, and yet some days I would rather him not be. Some days I would prefer to be alone. Some days I wish I didn't have to cater to anyone else. Some days I wish we would argue so I could make him sleep in the guest bedroom and have our king size bed all to myself. Some days I just want to breathe. Some days I just want to be selfishly all about me. Some days. I majored in art in college. Painting, drawing, and creating is my superpower. And marketing is the cherry on top. I can sell just about anything, which is how I ended up working at the auction house. I enjoy my job. I honestly do. It's good money, but I want to get back to my passion and creating my own art. I want to get back to the things that I love. It's just lately I've been so busy and I feel so inspired. When I first met Al, I'd painted 2 of the most amazing pieces of my life. I sold them both to one of his previous neighbors. I was so proud, and not to mention shocked that she was willing to pay $1,500 a piece for them. I continued to create, but I wanted to have a more stable income, so I snagged a job at the auction house the same year Al proposed to me. But being around such amazing pieces of art 5 days a week makes me burn with the constant desire to paint and create pieces of my own. Yet I can never find the right inspiration these days. It's just not as easy as it used to be. Have you ever wanted to do something with all of your heart and you just can't? And I hate to say this, but I really think my marriage is in the way. I don't know what to do about it, but I do know that I want to follow my heart. I want to paint again, but I just don't know where to start.